Good morning. My name is Brian Grzymkowski. I'm one of the assistant directors of graduate admissions here at Paterson University. I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us today for our webinar about our MFA in art. And certainly it's our hope that this is a very helpful medium to be able to step back, take in a lot of information in a relatively short amount of time. For you, it's a chance to get to know Tom Uhlein, who'll be speaking in just a moment, our program director for our MFA. And really, it's our hope that whether you're on a couch at home, whether you're in the office, this is a good way to get an intro into the program. And then obviously, no substitute for physically coming to campus. We'll have events in the fall and in the spring for some upcoming terms. And we'd encourage you, if you haven't already been on campus, to come see the campus for yourself, check it out. But certainly, it's our hope that we can cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time and get you right back into your regularly scheduled program in your daily life. We know families are busy. There's a lot going on over the summer. So again, we can't stress enough. Thank you for joining us for our presentation. And with that being said, I know you're not here to listen to me talk. You're here to listen to Tom talk. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Tom Uhlein. So take it away, Tom.
Thanks, Brian, and again, thank you to all who have joined us today and for this webinar regarding our interdisciplinary MFA program at William Paterson University. I hope you all are all in air-conditioned comfort on this warm and muggy July afternoon. So thanks for joining us and taking some time out of your busy day to hear some things about our MFA program, to get some additional information regarding program and the application process and things involved with our program. As Brian mentioned, my name is Tom Uhlein. I'm associate professor in the Department of Art. My area of expertise is visual communication or graphic design, and I'm the MFA program director. Our program, again, is interdisciplinary in spirit, meaning that the degree itself is not in one particular area, say ceramics, painting, printmaking, graphic design, but it allows you to take a variety of different courses in numerous media and explore your artistic endeavors in a very creative way, in a number of different ways, which we'll explore. The webinar today will give you some insight in terms of the program itself and our location. So I'll talk a little bit about the facilities, show you some work regarding the MFA program and the students who have participated in our program, and additional information in regards to the application process. So at the end, you will be able to type in questions. So as I'm going through the process of explaining a little bit about our program, please jot down some questions that you might have at the end, and I'll be happy to answer those. I'll also have my contact information again at the end of this program, and you can certainly email me or give me a call. Email is the best way to contact me, and we can try to get some information to you as best we can. So for those of you who don't know where we are located in Wayne, New Jersey. I like to call it the rolling hills of Wayne, New Jersey. Now, I believe everybody's attending today is from New Jersey. But what's beautiful about our campus, if you've never been here before, is that we do sit atop of a nature preserve. And our campus, I believe, is one of the most picturesque in the state in terms of where we're located. So just to give you some, this is a picture of the campus. Now, where we are is the Ben Shawn Center of the Visual Arts, where my office is and where I am actually speaking and doing this webinar right now is in this center right here. What's interesting about our curriculum and our program and the department as a whole is that we have two facilities specifically dedicated to the arts. One is the Ben Shawn Center for the Visual Arts, and the other, which is really the home for the graduate program, the MFA program, is the Power Arts building, which is slightly off the main campus. The Ben Shawn Center for Visual Arts, for grad information, houses a number of our studio spaces dedicated to undergraduate studies, but it also houses our galleries, our university galleries collection, and the facilities dedicated to the university galleries and the exhibitions that they show throughout the course of the academic year. Graduate students have an opportunity potentially to present their work in those galleries as well. And there is a dedicated gallery space, which I'll show you shortly, in the Power Arts building, which the graduate students are able to utilize for exhibition space. The reason I show part of the Ben Schoen Center for the Visual Arts is really it depends upon what area of interest you are going to study, that you may be in this facility. So, for example, in this facility we house the graphic design area, the animation area, digital computer arts area. So if you're interested in those particular areas, a lot of the classes take place in this particular facility. Part of the reason why we have two facilities on campus is that we essentially outgrew the Power Arts facility, or the Ben Schoen Center, in the late 90s, early part of 2000, and we acquired the Power Arts building. This is the Power Arts Center, part of the outside of the building. But what's beautiful about our curriculum, well, but the grounds that we have in terms of the curriculum and the program in the Department of Art for undergrad and grad is the space that you can utilize. And we're very fortunate in that way. I'm showing you all these, I'll be showing you all these visuals and these images of the spaces in the studio. But one thing that I can't stress enough, and Brian mentioned this in his introduction, is for you actually to come here, to see the space, to take it all in. Pictures can only do so much. We'll do our best to try to convey what the spaces and the beauty of the environment is like, but really you have to be here to see the spaces and the opportunities that we give you. But this is the outside of the Power Arts building, and so there's in terms of the space, it's slightly off of the main campus, but allows you to have access to a number of different disciplines within this particular building. This is the interior, part of the interior gallery space of the Power Arts building. And in the Power Arts building, it contains, we call it the Messy Arts building, not that it's necessarily messy, but that it contains the photo areas, sculpture areas, 3D design areas, digital sculpture, painting areas, printmaking areas, and of course the graduate studio spaces. So it allows you to do a variety of different things within this particular area, and also to display work within this particular area. This is an image of the studio spaces that are part of the Power Arts facility. And again, I encourage you, if you can, to come down and check out the spaces that are available to you. We have a variety of different spaces based upon need within that area. These are some of the up close and personal photographs of some of the spaces. They are utilized heavily, whether it be not only for making and working in those spaces, but also in terms of having a space where you can put things and to utilize that in a number of different ways. We always encourage students that the studio spaces that you have are not just the only spaces where you can work. The building is yours, both buildings. We encourage you to use every space and every area of the space that we have, which is enormous, in order to realize your vision, whatever that may be. Part of if you're considering this degree, and I show this image, which is part of one of our catalogs that we have as promotional materials for the MFA, is that it is a terminal degree, and as we state here, is the mission of the program to provide the MFA candidate with a rigorous environment in which to focus on professional goals and artistic excellence. We take what we do very seriously, and when we say it's a terminal degree, it's a 60-credit degree. It's essentially the doctorate in the visual arts practice of art and design. And so all of us who are in the teaching area as faculty members have our terminal degree, and we've gone through that process, that 60 credit process. And so it's really important for us and for you as a potential applicant to really understand why you want to do this. Because it is, there are challenges, that's for sure. As I said, we take it very seriously, and we work with you as faculty to make sure that you get the best out of your experience within our program. Our program is designed as a full-time 3-year program, or as potentially as long as a 5-year part-time program, depending upon your work schedule, which is part of the, I think, our strength of our curriculum is that we do allow and we do have it set up so that working professionals can take courses, let's say 2 courses per semester, so they can complete the requirements in a certain time frame, and allows the students to work at their schedule. A variety of different course offerings, as I have noted here, are in computer art, animation, painting, printmaking, and I mentioned a number of these throughout in the beginning of the webinar here. And it is interdisciplinary. Again, you'll be working with students who come from a variety of different artistic backgrounds and experiences, and I believe that's part of the strength of our curriculum in that. So if you're a painter, you'll be in classes and in discussion with artists who are painters and sculptors and graphic designers, and hopefully all of that that interest in those specific disciplines helps to invigorate each individual practice. So we offer an array, as I say here, tools and technology for you to realize individual work, and that's an important aspect of our program, is that we do allow students to explore a variety of different mediums and encourage students to explore a variety of different ways in which they can make work on numerous levels. Now, that may be even just emerging technology. We have a prototype machine, 3D printers. We just had excuse me, we're able to acquire a carving robot, which allows students to realize 3-dimensional work using digital process and emerging technologies. In this case, a robot which can carve in a variety of different mediums and can be utilized in numerous ways throughout the curriculum. So we are the only one in the state, and in fact in the region, that has this type of technology for students to utilize. And it doesn't matter if you are a photographer, it doesn't matter if you're a graphic designer, it doesn't matter if you're a painter. This type of technology is available to all who are in our program, and we encourage all students to begin to utilize it. Critique is part of the essence of our curriculum, meaning that you will always work with faculty throughout your time here as an ongoing process in terms of critique and deliberation about your work and the purpose of your work and the reason behind your work, and that becomes an important attribute to what we do. So faculty involvement with the students as mentors, and really being a part of the process of the work becomes an important attribute, as is the communal environment that we foster that's related to the discussion of meaningful work. And throughout the course of the semester, we hold critiques. Regarding that, we have a one yearly end of the year critique, which students present their work in progress throughout the course of the semester, and we discuss the work as it is in the middle of things. We also, our program allows students to participate in exhibitions in New York City. We have last year we did an exhibition in Chelsea, in a gallery in Chelsea, the Sam Lynch Gallery, and I'm sorry, in Soho. And this year we're going to be in Chelsea. And these are some images from the gallery exhibition called Pawn Tattoo. The gallery is in between a pawn shop and a tattoo parlor, so it was a good fit for the title. It was a great exhibition. This is part of the participants of the exhibition, some of our students who are participating, and the grand reception that we had there in New York City. It was really a great event. It's an awesome experience for students. You get to sell your work also at these experiences too, at these gallery shows. So really a great event and a great opportunity for students in our curriculum to be able to participate. So the work that you do is it's really about what you bring as a practicing artist, what you want to try to explore. We always say it doesn't have to be right at the beginning, but as you get further and closer to what we call your thesis year, you begin to make some decisions and you begin to make some professional choices in regards to your thesis presentation that allows you to showcase the work and that you've done in earning the MFA degree. So the program is set up in a number of ways to allow you to explore, again, as I said, different mediums, but also personal interpretation of work. What's also wonderful about our curriculum, in addition to the things I mentioned, is that we have a vibrant visiting artist lecture program. So every month we have a visiting artist who not only gives a presentation, but works with our graduate students and does studio tours and sits down with the students and is able to share some of their professional experience and give critique and offer advice in terms of the work that students are doing. So we believe that that's an important part of the curriculum as well, not only the classes that you take, but also the interaction of the faculty and visiting artists, practicing artists, and individuals that are doing great things in the world. We always say that it's a great time to be in the arts, and it's a great time to be at William Paterson University. And there's no better life to live than that of an artist. Not that it's easy. And for those of you who are currently, have earned a BA or BFA degree and are contemplating this, the work it takes to be in the game, and we foster that encouragement and experience, and allow you to grow in your artistic endeavors here in the MFA program at William Paterson University. Part of the process of getting here or being accepted to the program is sort of in two parts. So we have application deadlines now. Even for us, if some of you are considering applying to our program, or considering or looking into how can you start actually in the fall, it is this fall. It is potentially possible to do that. We are still accepting applications for the fall, but the general application deadline for early decision is February 1st, and the regular decision application deadline is April 1st. The early decision deadline allows you to apply if you're searching for other programs and looking at other institutions throughout the region or throughout the country, that we can get back to you faster. So February 1st is that deadline. Once we receive the information, we generally get back to you within a week and a half to 2 weeks. The regular decision deadline of April 1st, still we get back to you within 2 weeks. It's just that it's a little bit later in the process. As I mentioned, there's a two-part process in some ways to the application. In terms of applying here, there is an application to the university, which includes a fee, undergraduate transcripts, letters of recommendation, and a written statement by you. That part gets sent to the graduate admissions office, and I believe that's the same hall. I have to see if that's still correct. But all this information too is on our website, so you don't have to take a picture or a screenshot or write this down directly, because you can always get all this on our website. But I just wanted to give you the general information. So part one is an application to the university. Part two, which is incredibly important for us in the department, is that you are required to submit a digital portfolio of 20 images. Those images can be sent via a portfolio website, a Dropbox, or other web information platform, or a CD or DVD if you're still using that, or if you have, let's say, animation or something like that. But 20 images become important, and the images must be accompanied by a separate hard copy description of each image with the title, medium, date, size, and your name on that too. A copy of your written statement, your resume, and what's called the art department information form, which can be found on our website. A little bit about our the portfolio. The portfolio should contain work that is current, and when I say current, within the last few years, if anything. That's very important. Part of the process in terms of when you're applying and who's looking at that portfolio are members of our graduate committee. Our graduate committee is made up of faculty in various disciplines. I'm part of that committee along with faculty from the 3D area, digital arts, animation area, art history, and 2D surface design. And so the faculty there really make the decision in terms of after looking at all of your application, including your transcripts, your letters of recommendation, and ultimately then the images that you sent of your work, and we make the recommendation if one is accepted or not. So that's part of the process. So it is a committee component that we look at the work and make a decision based upon the agreement with the committee. Part one of the application to the university is sent, as I said, to the graduate admissions office, and then part two is sent to the Department of Art. I don't believe right now there's who are attending the webinar if there's any international students, but these are the requirements for the international students. That's I'll go through that at another time. We do offer financial aid or graduate assistantships, and just to give you some information on the graduate assistantships, the graduate assistantships, we have 3 in the Department of Arts, and so depending upon the given year, we may be able to offer 1, or we may be offered 2. It depends. But what I will say about that, so that's within the department as a whole. But there are assistantships that are offered throughout the university, and if you apply, I encourage all students to just simply apply for the assistantship, whether they know they want to go for it or not, because different departments within the university look at the applicants. It doesn't have to be from, let's say there's an applicant who wants to go to the history department per se, and there's someone who doesn't fit what they need in the history department. The history department grad director will look at other applicants from other areas. So if you have a skill set, let's say digital technology or other based upon your resume, it's possible to get an assistantship in another department potentially in other departments. At the university galleries. So there is other opportunities if an assistantship is not to or full time, and that's also to this also. The financial aid part is through you could check with the financial aid center at William Paterson and to see financial aid offers. The part of the finances too, just to give you some insight in terms of the tuition, based upon the ability to either come in full-time or part-time is cost for sure. And I just wanted to give you a breakdown of the cost per credit at this given time for the fall 16 into spring 17. So you can get a pretty good idea of what it costs per credit in terms of the fees. I know I went through a number of different elements in this and talking about some elements to our program, and even as I was saying a few things, there was other additional items that I was going to mention, but I wanted to see if anybody were sort of as I was going through some of this did have questions, whether it was regards to the application process, or whether it was related to the type of work you should show in your portfolio, or other things related to the program as a whole. If you have any additional or any questions, please, I believe you could type them in at this time, and I think Brian will facilitate that if there are any questions.
Sure, Tom.
Is that correct, Brian?
Yes, of course. And while we wait to see if anyone has any questions, just one little addendum. The admissions office, the grad admissions office, is actually located in Morrison Hall. And we're sort of a convenient one-stop here because we also have the Office of Financial Aid. We have the Office of Student Enrollment Services. So can't stress enough, Tom is a great point of reference for you. Would encourage you to speak with him, email him, meet with him to discuss your interest in the program. But certainly if you have any questions about the application process, if you need to take care of dropping off any documents, anything along those lines, you can always feel free to stop by the admissions office. We're actually on a summer schedule. This week, because of the holiday, we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, but most weeks through mid-August, we're going to be open from 8 to 5:15 Monday through Thursday. So just wanted to throw that out there and make sure that you were aware, like I said, whether it's dropping off an application fee, an application document, questions about the application process, we're obviously here to field any of your questions, and certainly feel free to stop by. It looks like we did have a question. Do you offer, it looks like a LORES graduate degree program, LORES?
Oh, I'm sorry, low res?
That's what it looks like. Oh, low residency.
Oh, low residency. And well, it depends. So low residency.
For example, like SIAC.
I think I'm getting the question correctly here, meaning that that you can just take, because we have a couple of things that you can do. One is that you can take classes at the graduate level, like in low residency. I believe what you're referring to is simply just taking, let's say, 3 credits. Is that correct? And still being part of the program? Or
I'll wait for their response. They reference the Art Institute in Chicago as an example.
Okay. Well, because they have, I think it's like a post-bac, and maybe that's what you're referring to. Okay. So like if you're coming out of your undergraduate program, you could take classes and do a post-bac, so it's a 1-year program. It's not quite in the graduate area, but the program itself is designed as a 60 credit degree, so it's not that you can just, you take some and do certain do some requirements and not others. And I think that's part of the question, if I'm answering that correctly.
They elaborate a little bit. They said currently several institutes offer intense summer on campus and then remote aspects during the fall or spring.
No. No. So, which is a great question. Our program is semester to semester. Now we do a couple things that is added as part of that, which thank you for the question too, is that we do have international programs. So, for example, we have students right now who are studying in Italy. We have a winter session program for both grads and undergrads that is during winter session, 3 weeks intensive. And get up to 6 credits for that. So there's ways to adjust the program, but we don't have any, let's say, short-term summer where you get a specific amount of credits. A number of it is based upon some of our international programs. So, for example, too, within the Department of Art, we have the Center for Chinese Art, and roughly every 3 years they do a summer art in China program. Again, about 3 weeks intensive, and students, both grad and undergrad, can get up to 6 credits. So there's ways to speed up the process, so to speak. And of course, you're either in Italy or China, so that's pretty cool too. So there's ways to alter the semester to semester way in which we do it. Students can take summer classes, and many of our students do, because we do offer summer classes here on campus. But it is not, let's say you can get like 9 credits during the summer, over the course of the summer, for one particular class. So basically 3 credit courses that some are contained within 3 weeks. For example, we just did a mural project on campus. We had graduate students take that. They earned 3 credits in roughly 3.5 weeks, and it applied to their MFA. So we do it in different ways that are that I wouldn't call it low residency, but help to and allow students to gain additional credits at a faster pace, I would say.
Thank you very much. And at least as of now, it looks like that's it for the formal questions that have come through. You referenced you might have 1 or 2 more points you want to touch upon. Was there anything you wanted to add before we wrap things up?
Yeah, one of the things that I mentioned is that part of the I just mentioned it a little bit was we do offer study abroad opportunities within the curriculum. So, and I mentioned we have students right now who are in Italy. We do a great with Professor Reese, who is one of our 3D sculpture and digital sculpture professors. And students are currently in a town right outside of Florence, and they're doing digital sculpture projects there for roughly, I guess, 3.5, 4 weeks. So we have these short-term opportunities where students can either study in different locations and apply that to their degree program, and it's a great part of our curriculum as well. So that was one thing I wanted to bring up. I did mention that in terms of the presentation as a whole, but that's an important part too.
And then another question that came through: any recommendations regarding portfolio or tuition waiver? Just the portfolio in general.
Well, so the portfolio in general, which I was going to mention too, the portfolio is really important. It gives us great insight in terms of your work. It's important that you pick 20 slides that best represent you and your work. Your statement too is very important in terms of the work you are looking at, museums and exhibitions that you've seen, that not that you necessarily had to participate in, but artists that have that you found interesting, gallery exhibitions, recent gallery exhibitions that you've been, whether it be New York City, whether it be the state of New Jersey, local, regional, across the country, internationally, whatever it was. Those things are important. Even things that you're reading right now that are related to the arts. Those things are important as to the overall, let's say, application. So that's one part of that, plus the portfolio is the other part of that. The portfolio is again really an encapsulation of the work that you are currently doing now, and we don't want to see things that are too far in the past. So as a recommendation, new work becomes important in that. I would say that part of it. In reference to tuition waivers, we don't necessarily offer tuition waivers, and so that's another part of the curriculum. I'm sorry, there's a phone was ringing. So tuition waivers is it's really the stipend between the assistantship or financial aid. So I'm not sure if that was the question regarding the tuition. What I will also say too, and this is a brief oversight, is that if we see your portfolio, and this is reference to the portfolio, we see your portfolio and we like the work, but we feel that we have questions about it, that we're not sure about certain things or whatever, we will sometimes recommend that a student take a class, one class, maybe 2, that shows us that the student is capable of doing strong work at an MFA level. And we've had a lot of students who've come through our program who have done just that. Now, those classes don't apply to the MFA as a whole, but it allows us to see that you can sustain a rigorous studio environment and do great work. So that's another aspect of the program in terms of the portfolio. Part of the and just some insight too in terms of part of the application process is that we do conduct an interview. So even if we like the work, we love it, everything about it, every student is asked to come in for an interview, so we meet with them and speak with them, and at everything else. So that's another prong to the piece. But portfolio, incredibly important. There's no waiver, of course, for that. You have to make work. And the other part of it is the tuition is really based upon either financial aid that you may receive or grants too, if you get grants, or we have a lot of students who have tuition reimbursement via work or teaching, right? They're in school teaching, so that plays a role in it too. We do have a number of teachers who are part of our curriculum, and that's some of the ways which I guess you can work with the reimbursement for tuition. So.
And then another question came through. Is there an opportunity or could there be an opportunity for a prospective MFA student to meet with or speak to grad students to talk about their experience and get a feel for the program that way?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's tough. What I would say is that if anybody's interested in our curriculum, there's two things. One is to certainly come to campus now in the summer. I will say that it is, if you're looking to come in this, in the next few weeks, there's not a lot of students here right now. It's slow during the summer. We do have some summer classes, and some have just ended, so it's a little slow. But I do encourage you. The Power Arts building is open. You can feel free to walk around that facility. What I will do is I will send out if whoever is interested, I'll have the emails of those who are participating today. I can send out information regarding upcoming events. For example, we have an MFA thesis exhibition that should be spectacular in September with a reception. I encourage all interested students to come to that and speak with, because we usually have not only current students, but alumni who come to those. So you can get a great insight in terms of the students and their experience here. Absolutely. The other is I encourage you to, if you are able to come to our New York exhibition reception for the show that is coming up. The reception, and I'll have this information too, and it's actually going to be on our website. The reception is July 27th in Chelsea, and I'll have the information and the roughly from 5 to 8. And the location of the reception and everything will be on our website. So I encourage you to go there. Current students will be there. Faculty will be there. Alumni of our graduate program will be there. So it's really a great way for you to get some insight. So absolutely, feel free to come at any time. And if any of you are interested in just simply coming by, just let me know. I'm flexible during the summer. I'm happy to meet with you and sort of give you the tour and all that kind of stuff. So, but you can also come in and just do it yourself. Walk in, you see some students, let them know you're interested. So you can do it on your own and really get to see and talk to the students in terms of what their experience has been in the curriculum and the program, and get additional insight there. Absolutely.
And we actually had another question come through.
Okay.
They commented that the facilities look fantastic, and said, having said that, if someone has shown in galleries and museums already at this point, held professional residencies, what do you feel William Paterson will uniquely bring to their journey, and what do you see as the benefits of this particular program?
That's a great question, and I think it'll continue to enhance their development in the professional practice. If there are individuals, and we've had individuals who have been in galleries in the past in New York and throughout the country, who have then done their MFA here and have had solo exhibitions in our galleries, and I think it just adds to the resume and can be unique in terms of the individual student and what they bring to that exhibition. And I think it is in an academic environment. The show will be, or an exhibition, let's say, for a student who has had that experience before, it will be a chance to do something that they haven't necessarily done before. And I think that's the whole part of an MFA program is, for me as a director, and my biggest question to all students who are applying to MFA, why do you want to get this degree? It is 60 credits. It's an investment of time, a lot of sacrifice, and why do you want to go through that? And part of that is to challenge yourself to do something differently, explore things you've never done before, display work that you never thought you were capable of doing. And so all those things, I think, infuse the work. You're not doing this in a vacuum. You're in a communal environment with a number of artists who are really working through a variety of different things, faculty members who have extensive experience, background in displaying their work. So it's really a unique opportunity to, whether you've been in the professional world displaying your work, it's another level for you to enhance that experience in ways that you never thought was possible. The second part of the question, and I believe it was what is the difference of our program? If you say that again, Brian.
What are the benefits of this particular program?
So, as I mentioned before, I think part of the strength of our program is, and the uniqueness is that if you are interested in ceramics, your MFA is not going to be exactly it's an interdisciplinary program. And I think what makes that unique is that it allows for the individual, say you are in ceramics or you're painting, to be surrounded with artists from other disciplines. And how that infusion of those disciplines affects your work. And again, I think part of it is to allow you to see things or to explore things and to experiment with things that you never thought were possible, whether it's traditional tools and materials or emerging technology. And I think that's what our program allows you to do in a unique way that is different, let's say, I think, from potentially other programs in the region. You have the opportunity to do a variety of different things. And then how that affects the end game in this is your thesis, right? You have a thesis project. Thesis is over 2 years, and then you do have a one-person show of your thesis. And so it all is sort of encapsulates your experience into that thesis exhibition. And so how do all these different opportunities, how do all these different experiences, how do the visiting artists and the again, as I said, the traditional and new technologies and the collaboration with your fellow classmates and the faculty, how does it all go to your work? So I think that's part of the uniqueness of the program. I would also say that it's relatively, this is one thing I was going to mention, is that we're not an enormous program in terms of students, meaning that I think we're a really nice fit. We have anywhere from, at any given time, let's say 20 students to 17 students, maybe 23 students, depending upon the year of graduation and how many we accept. And so that part of it is that there's really this communal environment and a bond and a closeness that you get to experience with your fellow classmates.
Great. Well, I think that's it, at least as of right now, for the formal question and answer part of the presentation. Tom, I can't thank you enough. That was wonderful. Wonderful. You fielded a lot of questions. That was very informative. Certainly, as I referenced before, I hope this was a very helpful medium for our prospective students that took time out of their schedule to join us. Hopefully, this was very helpful for you. I can't stress enough, if you are interested, you want the opportunity to follow up, Tom will be more than happy to speak with you further. In the admissions office, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have about the application process. And certainly, we'd love to see you on campus sometime soon. If you're local, if coming to campus sometime soon is feasible for you, as Tom mentioned, the Power Arts Center, they'd be happy to see you there. Certainly, try and set up a time so he knows you're coming. But you're always welcome to just go and explore that space too, as well as the rest of our campus. But otherwise, want to thank you all on behalf of the Grad Admissions Office and on behalf of our MFA program in art. We really do appreciate you joining us today, and certainly we hope to hear from you very soon. So from all of us here at William Paterson University, thank you so much for coming out today, and we hope to hear from you soon. Take care.